Welcome, everybody. I'm JD,
And I'm Gail.
and we hope everybody had a great Memorial Day. And you're tuned in to what are we tuned in? Oh, Gale Force. Welcome, everybody.
From deep inside Bunker Foxtrot, located somewhere under the swamps of Central Florida, it's Gale Force.
Well, here we are down in Bunker Foxtrot in this steaming heat in Florida. Again, I'm JD.
I'm Gail.
And welcome to Gale Force, everybody. Real quick, if you want to find us, you can find us on Facebook under Every Bit Matters. Just do a quick search there on top of Facebook, and you can find us under Every Bit Matters. We're also on BitTube under Gale Force, and you're probably watching us right now on YouTube. You can find us under Gale Force Creations, and we're also on Steemit under Every Bit Matters. And we have all those links below, and you know what to do, and we'll ask you to do some other stuff here later. But then again, I'm a JD, that's Gail, and we just talk about current events and stuff that we're interested in. And today we're going to do a little bit about Venezuela real quick. We want to hit a couple news stories real quick before we get into the main story, which will be about banking and the economy.
Yes.
We're going to get into that. So stick around just a couple minutes. But before that, we want to do a little bit of news real quick, and we call it New News. And while we're here, new news, real quick, we're going to do a quick thing about Venezuela. And I wanted to talk about Venezuela because it's an important kind of a concept to get around. Everybody's talking about Venezuela and how it's been a disaster for democratic socialism. And we talked about that a couple of times, right?
Absolutely,
we've done quite a few stories about Venezuela and how it's a trash heap. It's just people have nothing to buy. The economy really, really sucks. They're even eating animals out of the zoos.
Right, cats,
and,
dogs, rats,
but
animals from the zoo.
I've changed my mind. I've kind of been thinking about it lately. And Venezuela is, everybody says that it's a failure. It's a failure of democratic socialism. But the way I look at it is, no, it's a success. What Venezuela has done with democratic socialism is a textbook example of every time some country has tried democratic socialism.
Yeah.
They do it under different
The
names.
government and their cronies have everything.
Yeah.
And you have nothing.
And that's how it ends up. That's the textbook. Venezuela is a success for democratic socialism.
Yeah.
That's why I look at it.
Margaret Thatcher years ago said the problem with socialism is sooner or later you run out of
people's money, and now it's a hellhole. The first thing they did, and everybody agreed to do this because you got to remember it's democratic socialism.
They voted it in.
And they decided to give up their guns. One of the first laws they had was you had to turn in your guns. They wanted it to be a safe country.
Right, because then they only the good people and the government.
And the government, and the government will take care of you.
They'll take care of you, all right.
But then it turned into a hellhole, as we have seen. I'm sure most people have seen the pictures of that armored car that's running through the crowd and just running over people. Because the government only has guns.
Yeah, it wasn't like Tiananmen Square with the communist Chinese that didn't run over the guy.
Yeah.
In a socialist country, they actually run over.
Yeah, they actually bring out the guns, and since you gave up your guns in Venezuela, you can't fight back.
Right.
Well, there's also a problem with the criminals in Venezuela. Now, I don't have the story up here, but I'll tell you real quick. The criminals, they have gangs in Venezuela now because everybody's so poor and everybody has nothing. There's nothing in the stores. Everybody's stealing from, whoever they can. But the criminals are now crying because they can't shoot their guns. The criminals have guns, but the bullets cost, because of the inflation.
The runaway inflation.
That each bullet they shoot is costing $15.
Right.
So the criminals now are afraid to shoot their gun. They can't afford to shoot their guns.
Right.
So they use machetes, and then they use gangs of people to steal from other people just to stay alive. So Venezuela has been a total success in democratic socialism. I give them a 10 out of 10 because they have done what democratic socialism the outcome is, right?
Government runs everything.
Am I missing anything?
Nope, government runs everything.
Okay.
Socialism is government runs and owns. So that's what people understand. If you look at the Socialist Manifesto, to run everything, the government must own everything.
That's true. So, just some quick news on Venezuela is, again, it's a success. They have done what democratic socialism. So if that's what your outcome is on democratic socialism, you need to look to Venezuela because that's what you're going to get. Now, real quick, if you see the pictures next to us here, okay, while we're talking about Venezuela, these aren't pictures of Venezuela.
No.
I wonder if anybody can guess. If you can guess, leave us a comment below. We'll give you a couple minutes here. But the pictures on the side, look, this side. All right, see all those pictures there? And that's the good-looking guy down there. Yeah, okay. But these aren't pictures from Venezuela.
No. It's probably some other socialist country.
Yeah. Any idea what country that it's? By the way, this country that it's not really.
It's the sixth largest economy in the world.
Yeah, this is the sixth largest economy in the world. This is not Venezuela. Should we tell them what country or what?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I guess we could say this is.
We don't have anything to give as a prize. So.
That's true. Yeah, not yet. But again, the pictures you see here are not Venezuela. The pictures you see here is Los Angeles. All right.
Yep.
And by looking at the pictures, you would think this was Venezuela. And I hear some people that are escaping. This is Skid Row, not too far from downtown LA, and there's like 4,500 people. Look at this. Look at that. Living on the street.
Same thing as San Francisco. Yeah. Same thing as Seattle. Same thing in Portland.
In the richest country in the world, there it is. Skid Row. Population too many. It's like Venezuela. It's terrible. Look at this. This is on the streets. This is not a campground.
Let's see. They're on the street. They're hungry.
And look
There's
at this.
gun violence. There's drug use.
Yep.
Prostitution, death.
Disease.
Disease.
And some of the cops have caught typhoid.
Yeah.
So that's going around.
Typhoid and stuff.
Again, people, this is not Venezuela you're looking at. This is USA, LA, the beautiful country, state of California.
As far as for the cops getting typhoid and stuff, we didn't have a chance to get the article to bring it up to show you pictures, but in the beautiful socialist state of California.
Sanctuary state, by the way.
Yeah. It's San Francisco, Los Angeles, Berkeley. You're going up north to Portland and Seattle the same way. In downtown Los Angeles and San Francisco, the filth and the human waste has got so bad, like I say.
We're seeing it. These aren't pictures of Venezuela.
What would you say was the typhoid?
Typhoid. Yep.
Okay.
And fleas.
The fleas, because there's rats, because of the junk,
Look at us.
Human waste and everything else. Some of the big, huge, plush office buildings, some of their employees got bitten by fleas and they had to treat them. So they had to take on the bottom floor and the entryway, they had to pull out all the carpeting, this posh billions of dollar office building.
Just so they can work because the infestation.
They had to pull out all the carpeting and put something in there that they can spray down every single night to kill fleas and bugs and stuff.
And this is in America. This is America. Now, I just thought of something which really makes me feel bad. Okay, because we're supposedly, and the liberals and Democrats, they think we ought to have open borders.
Yeah.
And California is a sanctuary state where if you immigrant or a legal alien, you can go there and be safe. But look at the picture there. Look at all this trash. I feel bad because we have new people coming into our country, and this is what they see. This is what We're going to welcome them with this kind of trash?
I mean, I mean, people should be ashamed of themselves.
Imagine the image we're getting.
I mean, it's like, and they'd be afraid to come to your house because,
If they see this on the street,
yeah,
they think they're coming to America where at one time the immigrants thought the roads were paved in gold.
right,
Remember, as kids, we read those stories of immigrants saying they come over here with less than $2 or $3 in their pocket because when they come to America, they heard the roads were paved in gold.
right.
But look at Skid Row right there. You can look at Skid Row right there. And this is what our new, we invite these people from other countries to come to America,
Mhm.
and this is their,
And they're bringing all kinds of diseases.
and this is
You
what
know,
they see.
there's even been people come across the border and oh well, we can't take and corral them. We can't profile them. There has been people literally that have leprosy. We've had outbreaks of doggone measles and everything else because you've got people coming in here that for generations have been vaccinated.
Yeah, so they're bringing, but I feel bad because they're our guests, and when they show up at our home, this is what they see.
Right.
Imagine, they're thinking, look, I left a country that was not as bad as this, and then they show up in L.A. and it's like, wait, if I wanted garbage like this, I could have stayed in Honduras.
Yeah, I could have stayed home for this.
So we're just saying, hey, California, will you please clean up your mess
Right.
so the undocumented aliens, undocumented, what do they call them now? Whatever. But when we have the immigrants coming in,
Yes.
that we need to show them that our streets are clean.
Sanctuary seeking
Yeah.
undocumented.
If you're going to be a sanctuary state, can you please clean up the
Yeah,
streets?
it's like,
Because you have guests coming in and they don't want to see this crap.
what did your
I mean,
mother tell you when you were a kid and you went out somewhere in the car? She would tell you, put on clean underwear in case you get in an accident because she didn't want to come to the
Yeah, she
emergency room.
didn't want to be embarrassed.
Right.
You gotta, and look,
Hey,
and look,
people, California, put on some clean underwear.
yeah, look,
okay?
we got people coming into the country, and look at that garbage they see. Again, this is not Venezuela, people. This is L.A.
And if
Okay.
you think you want to play games, Google it, DuckDuckGo. It's all over California,
Yep, L.A. You got
all
it.
the way up into Washington, Oregon. Okay.
All right, now that's a quick story. Went a little long, but that brings us to some more garbage.
Well, let's go from the left coast to the right coast.
Sounds good. And there it is, Virginia Beach. And the locals are furious after the beach is turned into a trash heap by Memorial Day revelers. I'm sorry, Gail, I don't have you in this one, but I'm going to take this real quick. I'm going to do it hopefully real quick. If you look right there, that's garbage. That's not L.A., okay? This is Virginia. And everybody, I want to let you know, because I had this argument with my son, who I will not mention, but I'm sure I'll try to get him to watch this. But this is the trash left by millennials.
Right.
And we know who millennials are,
Right.
the younger crowd. And they're the biggest crowd right now calling for the new Green Deal.
And we're
right?
supposed to
No,
save the earth.
The Green New Deal. That's
Save
it.
the earth.
Save the earth.
Recycle all your plastic.
That's it. Don't drive cars if you can ride a bike. But look at this mess they left. Okay? They left this mess on the beach. 10 tons of garbage was left
20,000 pounds
on Virginia Beach on one weekend, and mostly for millennials. And these are the people that are crying, and they're the ones who are doing protests, and they're making all these groups to go after the government to help clean up the earth. The earth is going to die in 12 years because we have too much garbage and pollution and all the companies. Look at this garbage up here, people. All right? That was caused by the millennials, the people who cry that they want to save the earth.
Right.
They want to save the earth.
And you need to pick up your dog poop when you take him for a walk.
That's it. So I'll bring you back to the picture. But I'm just so pissed when I see a picture like that, and then we hear all these millennials saying we need the government. You need the government to tell you to pick up after yourself?
Yeah, I think you need the government to tell you when to wipe your patootie.
Do you really? I mean, does your bedroom look as much as garbage as the Virginia Beach? Millennials, I'm talking to you right now. Is this? I'm gonna put me over here. You want the government to come in there and tell us that we shouldn't drive cars, we shouldn't fly in airplanes, we shouldn't have plastic, we shouldn't have oil, everything ought to come from solar. But you can't even clean up after yourself. You have to be the beginning of the change. People will follow what you do, but you go to the beach and you leave garbage and you expect the government to come up and clean it up. That's what they say. The millennials say, look, we're good kids. We want to save the earth, but we want the government to do it. We want to go out and have our party.
They want to
and
be stewards of the earth.
That's it. They want to be but they can't even clean up after themselves. It just makes me furious that they want the government to do it.
Ever heard the saying, lead by example?
That's it. You lead by example. There are a lot of kids out there that clean up after themselves. They make their bed before they leave the house to go to work. And then when they go to the beach, they pick up their own garbage. If you can't even pick up your own garbage, don't expect the government to do it, because the government is only individuals. It's only other people. So you're saying, I don't want to clean up after my mess. I want somebody else to clean up after my mess.
No, they want somebody to point a gun at you to make you pick
That's
it up.
it. Right, yeah, that's it. It's like you never had a mother. It just drives me nuts. I'm sorry. I just had to do that.
Moving on.
Just moving on. And the other one was, well, we did LA, we did the beach. So now we need to go into the economy. We're going to do a new section called the economy. I need to come up with a better name or something.
Yeah.
All right. So what's in the economy?
Phew.
I'm sorry.
Let's give you some examples.
All right. While you're doing that, I want to pull up real quick before that. The present day delusion is an attempt. Oh, this goes on with the millennial, with the master real quick. The present day delusion is an attempt to enrich everyone at the expense of everyone else, to make plunder universal under the pretense of organizing. And that's what the Green New Deal is.
Oh, yeah.
All the kids say, well, I don't want to be responsible. I'll let the government do it all.
There goes all that new modern money theory, or whatever the modern money policy thing, or whatever.
Nobody wants.
Is printing. And how well does that work for Venezuela?
That's what we're doing. So, I've heard you got some news on Deutsche Bank. Is that it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Look,
I haven't cleared this with our producer, and again, we're coming from the Bunker Foxtrot, somewhere located underground in Central Florida. But our local conspiracy theorist has some news on Deutsche Bank.
Yeah, well, Deutsche Bank. All right, let's go back to 2007.
I like that year.
When we first started going into the Great Recession. Yeah, cough going. At that time, JCPenney was $82. Deutsche Bank was $120.
Is it still cranking?
Oh yeah, it's cranking all right.
Right on.
So Friday at close, JCPenney was 85 cents. So from $82 down to 85 cents.
Are you sure you're reading that right?
Oh yeah, I had to double check that. And Deutsche Bank went from $120, and now there's $6.80.
Whoa! That's almost 90%.
But no, wait a minute, is that Bitcoin? Yeah, right. You want to talk about volatility? We're making fun of you people about the volatility stuff.
That's just
okay.
So Deutsche Bank went
$82.85, from $120 down to $6.80.
120 to $6 today. It's $6. How much?
$6.80.
Deutsche Bank. So what do you think's happening at Deutsche Bank? I mean, what would cause this?
Okay. Going back to 2007, we had the Lehman moment and Countrywide Financial and Bank of America and all this ninja loans and all these different things.
Yep.
They created packages, and they were called derivatives. So what they would do, these derivative packages, one bank would hold it and give them so much money for it, and they all were shuffling around. And right now, there is 42 to 45 trillion, not billion, trillion worth of derivatives just on Deutsche Bank.
Now, this is not. This is like gambling. This is not money they actually have somewhere.
Mm-mm.
This is money they're responsible for,
It's the tab, like if you go to Vegas.
but they can't pay it.
No, and if it's 42 to 45 trillion dollars, we'll just bail them out. Who's going to bail them out? That's more than all of the country of Germany's got. You got to remember, the country of Germany, the whole country isn't quite as big as the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And we're talking about East and West Germany combined after the unification and stuff.
Yeah, which didn't add much.
Yeah. So
45 trillion?
42 to 45 trillion. How can you bail it out? They tried doing a thing with Commerce Bank to join Commerce Bank in that. And Commerce Bank, oh my God, I mean, it's, holy cow. I mean, that's like having.
I know that Deutsche Bank's in the news because of Donald Trump. I really didn't want to get Donald Trump and politics into this, but they want to get some records from Deutsche Bank. But what a lot of people don't know about Germany is they do have a couple big banks. Unlike America, where we have 5 or 6 of the biggest banks that own places all over the country. In Germany, they have just a couple big banks, but most of the banks in Germany are local banks, what we call credit unions. But I imagine that Deutsche Bank, if something happens to Deutsche Bank, it's a big bank. They do business everywhere.
Well, they got a big thing in New York.
So what are you
Let's put
trying?
it this way: they've laid off thousands and thousands of people.
I haven't read that. Deutsche Bank, are they continuing to lay people off, or is this something that happened just a while back or recently? Or I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, what does Deutsche Bank have to do with me here in America? Banks now are pretty much worldwide. I mean,
They're all interconnected.
yeah, they're all interconnected. So
Commerce Bank is $6.30 right this minute. So how can you take two banks
that aren't worth much on the stock exchange, which means they're losing billions of dollars probably with their stock going down?
Mhm.
This might not be good news.
At one time, Commerce Bank. Oh my God! You don't want to know.
You keep saying that.
All right, so we're going back to 07.
Okay.
In 07, Commerce Bank was $294, and now they're $6.30. Now, this isn't RT News. This isn't fake news. This is right off Yahoo Finance.
They have to be crapping in their pants. I mean, look at their market cap has just plummeted.
Who's going to bail them out when they have that much debt and the price of the stock is that low? It will not work.
So something's going to happen. Something's up.
Okay, everybody remember back about 2013 when you had the thing with Greece and Cyprus?
Yep.
This is even bigger. Now, here's the part that just turns your hair totally white.
All right.
All the countries, including the United States. Everybody thinks, well, ain't no problem here in the United States. We've got FDIC.
Yeah. They're so underfunded.
Oh, that's not the bad part.
There's the bad part.
If something happens and the bank was to close, that FDIC would kick in. But if all the banks get into a thing like 2007, since 2007, there's a little law in there. The money that you deposit into like Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo,
anything.
Wells Fargo, because actually on the Wells Fargo thing, when the guys up there with the guns, they're not guarding the money; they're going around to steal from people put into the Wells Fargo thing. But anyway,
they're taking your money at gunpoint. You thought the government took your money at gunpoint. Banks do.
When you deposit money at a bank, you are a creditor. And if the bank folds or they have a bank holiday or whatever, your money. You are a lender. You're a minor creditor and lender. All of your assets, everything that you've got in your safety deposit box is theirs. It's called a bail-in. A bailout is when the government does it.
Yeah.
Now the new laws have been shuffled through, Democrats and Republicans. It's been shuffled through to collapse it again. First they do a bail-in. They take everything that's in the bank is now theirs.
Yeah.
And then if they can't steal enough by taking all of your money, then they go to the government and want a bail-in, a bailout, which is
Basically your money again,
to tax you.
but on IOU.
Right, an IOU. They took your money. Now they're going to tax you for the rest of the money.
And give the bank
Right.
like a loan, but we're responsible for it, even though we didn't cause it.
Now, speaking of loans, take it.
Okay, so now, where did that come from? So, no, before I get into that,
Okay.
no, actually, it does tie into that, doesn't it?
Yes.
So we're talking about
The
loans. Okay, and I really didn't want to bring up.
He didn't really want to bring this
Well-
up. He didn't really want to believe me. So he talked to the Google, and it popped up, and he goes, "Holy cow, we got to talk about this."
I really didn't want to talk about if it pleases the crown, may the national treasury not be used to divide votes, but that's later. But that kind of ties in. I saw the article. Let me see if I can pull it up here, and it's from Forbes, and it's about. Oh, is this? Oh no! Now it went away. We're talking about. Jeez, which one was I talking about? Forbes.
Forbes.
All right, keep going. There it is. Student loan. We'll just do a quick thing about it. I never knew this. I knew there was a problem with student loans, and the problem is a lot of kids take out big loans, and then they really can't pay them back. But we saw a story here on Forbes, and this really blew my mind that there's a lot of people. What do you call it? Defaulting on their college loans or their student loans, but it's here. I'll just read it here. All right, because I don't have a good memory after a few drinks, but here it is. Student loan debt crushes senior citizens. I'm just gonna put it up there. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, see that right there. Student loan debt crushes senior citizens. In 2015, the government seized. I want you millennials to kind of listen about this because as you get older. In 2015, the government seized Social Security benefits, tax refunds, or other federal payments from 40,000 Americans aged 65 or older who had defaulted on their student or parent loan. There you go. That's what you're talking about. Parent loan debt.
Right.
It's up 362% from the previous decade. Now, who brought us this debt crisis for senior citizens? It was that greatest American president, Obama. And what did he do? You got to remind me. Obama, he created the student loan to where you can't you can't call it a bankruptcy.
It's not. You have to pay it. He put it over to being a government thing from the banks.
Yeah, the banks could do it.
And it goes right straight to the Treasury and the IRS. And
So,
you owe it until it's paid off.
and that's what's happening with senior citizens. What did it say? 40,000 senior citizens who are expecting to get their full Social Security check are now finding out that the government is taking a portion of their Social Security check because they haven't paid back their student loans. This student loan thing is a trap. The government is trapping you kids by getting into student loans. But I never knew that the parents were taking out loans for their kids, and they're responsible for it in their golden years. So the golden years are turning out to be like Los Angeles, just a pile of crap.
Right.
So, and now everybody wants to give free college. Imagine how that's really going to burden people. But right now, before they do that, Obama set it up to where once you got a student loan, you're stuck with it.
Right.
Okay, and now senior citizens are stuck with it, and it's going up and up. People are just
And
they
the thing
need
is,
what they need to do is outlaw college because college is just bankrupting everybody.
when you give it to the IRS, it's just like it's a tax debt. And what happened with the tax debt? Oh, wait a minute. They have fines, fees, and interest. And interest is not
and what's worse
1%.
is the IRS have guns.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, on that, since we're talking about millennials, I was going through the auto loan details. Millennials, they come out of college, they think they have the best job in the world because they finally get a great job from some company, so they go out and buy new vehicles. The latest report is that 30%, so what, 1 out of 3 kids you see, millennials who have a nice college degree or whatever, went out and bought a new car, they are now 90 days behind on their payment. These are the kids that are making big bucks, apparently. Well, at least they thought they were. So 1 out of 3 millennials that have got a car loan.
You'd be surprised how much you can make working at Starbucks.
So if 30% of the car loans for millennials are 90 days past due, this kind of brings back memories of 2008 when the housing market was that way. So, just wanted to throw that in there.
The housing market's that way too.
The millennials are going to save the earth by leaving their garbage on the beach. And now they take out loans and they don't feel they're responsible for it, so they don't pay off their car loans. And then they talk their parents into taking out student debt for them so they can go to college and get this good job, not knowing that they put all this burden on their parents. And by God.
Mom and dad, they can handle it.
This is a great idea. I'm glad that the Obama administration and the progressives have made it so nice to get a student loan that just puts the debt on older generation. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just it's sad.
How about if I grab it for a second and go a little farther?
Do it.
Okay. Chicago, Illinois. Cook County.
Wait a second. Chicago. That's north of Gainesville, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to check.
Rahm Emanuel. Oh, who did he work for? I don't know. It must have been George Bush, right?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Right. The mayor of Chicago. Since 2007, and actually before that, there is a crisis coming that most people are going to get into, not today, but it's called retirement debt. Okay? All these cities, counties, and states have guaranteed retirements. The Cook County has promised all the unions so much money for retirements, they keep raising the taxes up. And people walk away from a house, and it might have been worth $300,000.
Yep.
And they finally sell it for $200,000. But they keep jacking the doggone. It's like a homeowners association. If everybody moves out, they still have to mow the lawn, water the grass, and take care of the gate. So guess what? There's fewer people sharing the bill, so it takes more money.
There's more people in, like I said, there's more people in the train or the wagon, but there's few people pulling it.
Right, but the thing is there's, as people are fleeing Illinois, and housing costs are going tink to tink to tink blink.
The retirement funds are not being funded because there's not enough people. It's like Social Security. We don't have enough people going into Social Security to fund it.
They put so much on it, and all these mayors and stuff like Rahm Emanuel, they get this golden parachute, and they've taxed things to where people just walk away from their home. The city winds up, or the county winds up owning the banks, and they'll talk somebody into buying it. Well, you won't have to pay any property taxes for 3 years to fix the house up.
Yeah, get somebody in it.
to get somebody in it, well, it's gone from 300 to 200 to 100 to whatever it's gone to.
Mhm.
But the taxes on a $200,000 home is more than you'd pay on a $2 million home in Florida.
Yeah, it's almost exceeds the mortgage you're paying.
Oh, it more than exceeds the mortgage up there in Illinois. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll get into some other time.
Yeah,
Retirement
that's
funds.
oh yeah, we got to get it. I wrote that down, and we'll do because there Social Security for a couple more years can pay out, but there's not enough people paying in, and maybe we'll do a show on that. But you don't know what's going on with the retirement funds for government employees in certain municipalities.
Right.
So I can really get that out because of this drink. Oh, cheers, by the way. And yeah, we got to do a show on that because you don't know all the some people here to the next 10, 15 years when they go to retire and they think they have a pension coming. You think the yellow vest are having a fun time
If
in
the
Paris. Wait till
American
you see
public
what's going on
actually
here.
knew what was going on, there would be riots in the street.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we've been babbling for quite a while.
Okay. Well,
So we got to do real quick. I'll give you time to pull it up, but I think it's crypto time.
Alrighty.
Hit this. All right, we're gonna do some crypto news. What's Bitcoin up to?
Bitcoin right now, $8,700.
All right, so it's almost tripled what it was not too long
Well,
ago.
it fell off a little bit. It's 86.65.
Okay.
Litecoin is 114.
So, do we have any idea why Bitcoin and other coins are starting to go up? Are they getting concerned about the dollar, the stock market,
Well,
which
it's a
the
combination.
stock market, by the way, closed lower in May since 2008.
This makes 6 weeks in a row the stock market has closed down.
All right, but we're not talking about stock market. We're talking about Bitcoin and
Well,
crypto
we
news.
could get into bond inversion, all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff on that. But,
All right. So Bitcoin's still up there a little bit. Litecoin's heading up there.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Sprouts. How's Sprouts doing?
yeah, I don't know about that.
I got into Sprouts. I have no idea what it was, but don't have much
Well,
there.
it was on a phone app, and he got some of it for free for letting him mine on his phone or
Yeah.
something. Okay.
No, that was another one, but.
Which phone?
Yeah.
I think you just had. Phone
It's
sitting
still
around.
time to get it into some Bitcoin. You gotta, only if it's $100. Don't go out to
You
see
don't
a
have
movie.
to buy a whole Litecoin,
Don't
a
drink.
whole Bitcoin.
Yeah, just go out there and buy $100 worth of Bitcoin and just sit on it because now there's predictions. Again, there's predictions last year, but they're saying Bitcoin by the end of 2020, which after the elections could be 30 grand of Bitcoin.
Right. And Litecoin could be between 600 and 1,000.
So don't look at it as an investment. Look at it as you went to Las Vegas, but you don't actually have to pay to go to Las Vegas. You can just go on your computer and buy a little bit of Bitcoin. $100. That's it.
Right.
Bitcoin or Ether or
Ethereum
or Litecoin. One of those. Just buy $100 worth and just hang on to it. And we got to do a little course on crypto buying and stuff like that and do that.
Yeah,
But,
because you don't have to have a whole coin.
Yeah, you don't have to have a whole coin.
Because if 10 years from now, Bitcoin is $200,000-$300,000, the $100 you bought's going to be
a couple of grand. Who
$1
knows?
grand.
Yeah, who knows? All right, we're getting near the end of the show, and
Okay, well,
we just like to let everybody know that, look, please, if you're watching on YouTube, just give us a subscribe or a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. And again, you can visit us on YouTube under Gale Force Creations, under BitTube under Gale Force. We're under Steemit, which is a alternative to Facebook. So you can look us up under Every Bit Matters on either Steemit or Facebook. So please, if you would subscribe, we'd love it. We're going to do a little more stuff here with the show, but we're getting the hang of this. I'm having fun. You having fun doing this?
I'm having fun.
All right, so we're going to have a drink and a cigar after the show, aren't we?
Absolutely.
That was my incentive to get the show done. If I get the show done, then I get some Glenlivet. Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
And a nice cigar.
Double oak. Glenlivet.
I can almost taste it now.
My nephew was in South America and brought back some real Monte Cristos.
God. So, I'm just thinking if we were in Venezuela, we wouldn't be able to enjoy that. in that beautiful country.
Yeah.
Or was that LA that we were showing?
Yeah, flip of a coin.
Right.
But then if you had a silver coin in Venezuela, you'd be rich.
There you go. Okay, I'm JD.
And I'm Gail.
Thank you for watching the show. It's called Gale Force Creations. And again, if you would subscribe, hit us a thumbs up. And we'll see you next week. We do a new show every week. And again, we really appreciate it. And our producer wasn't here today, but if she was, we'd show her. And we're broadcasting from the Bunker Foxtrot, located somewhere under the swamps of Central Florida. We'll see you next week, everybody. See you. Bye-bye. We're going to go have a nice drink and a cigar.
There you go.
All right, see ya.